Hello and welcome to video number 9 in a series of videos designed to demonstrate how to use the Fractal Suite in the Bloomberg trading platform. This video will discuss a new panel in the Fractal Suite template, and this is panel number 4. And you can see I have my mouse pointer in that particular panel. And what we're going to be looking at in this video are markers that essentially describe the same information that the entry channel describes on the chart, except for we normalize that information. We also have an additional indicator that is a dynamic marker that can help to improve your entry, and it is working and coordinated with the ARC algorithm. So for this video, what I'm going to do is show you the specific markers that are not the dynamic marker, and then we will reserve the dynamic marker for the next video, as I think it merits some time to itself. So to begin, let's go back to our settings window and scroll down. Let's turn the 0 line on, and then we will see this series of different indicators. We have plot minimum profit marker. You may remember this from one of the earlier videos when I was describing how to use the entry channel and how you can set a minimum amount for the entry channel to come within of a range from the mean. Well, this is very similar. Plot normalized error. This is the difference between the last traded price and the predicted close. Plot the entry marker. This is essentially the same as the entry channel, except for this is normalized and converted into an oscillator. And then we have the plot dynamic entry marker, which we are going to save for the next video. So let's start with plot minimum profit marker. Let's update. And here we see 0.04 positive, 0.04 negative, and 0. Why are these 0.04? Well, remember that every tick in crude is 0.01. So we have, by going back to our settings window, we can see we have 0.01 is the amount of points per tick. We also have minimum ticks to enter trade set at 4 ticks. Hence we have positive 0.04 and negative 0.04 as our minimum ticks for entering the trade. So these are those inputs are specifying what the minimum profit marker is. Simple as that. Plot normalized error. We can check mark this, update, and what we see here is the difference between the last traded price and the predicted close. So we're actually plotting the error between the two, hence the name. So let's zoom in and take a look at that. All right, expand this a little bit so we can see it better. Actually, I'm just going to blow this up. Okay, so yeah, what we're looking at here is the difference between the last traded price and the 0 is representing the predicted close for this indicator for the error. In the case of these markers, the 0 is representing the predicted mean. Now, just think about this as the channel, the entry channel that was on the chart in the earlier video. So what we would want to do is, whereas before we were looking for maybe price to cross above or below the entry channel, what now we're looking for is the error to cross above or below the entry channel. So now let's go ahead and plot that marker that represents the entry channel. So remember our settings here. We have the entry channel threshold and the auto stop threshold. Well, for the markers, we don't use an auto stop. There is no stop loss marker. But we do have the equivalent of the entry channel threshold. And as a matter of fact, the marker responds to this input. So let's go ahead and change this back to 1.0. And we'll scroll down to plot entry marker. Let's update this. Alright, so now what we see here is the range for this entry marker. So this is going to give us our entry points. It's not giving us price because it's normalized about 0. So it's strictly being used as a way to identify when the opportunity is present to enter into the market. And again, this can be used as a reversion, predictor reversion strategy, or it can be used as a breakout strategy for a trend. So let's double check and see. I know sometimes Bloomberg has a tendency to save the old entry if it's not updated on the while you can see it. Alright, so this is actually one standard deviation now. Alright, so you can see here, in some cases we're taking quite a bit of heat if we were to enter into the trade here and we were going long, say, with the intent of exiting the trade at this 0 point. So here is where there is some danger, and we're going to address that with a dynamic marker that utilizes the arc to encapsulate this error when the arc tells us that we're not in a range, and I'll explain that in more detail later. But essentially what you see here is the equivalent of the entry channel and the minimum profit ticks and a predictor and a predicted mean, all in one oscillator. So at this point, what I am going to do is end this video, and on the next video we will focus directly on the dynamic marker that will help save us from situations like this. Thank you, and see you in the next video.